over about 30 days, please.
And does Mr. Livingood understand he has the right to a speedy trial and he is waiving that so he can have this continuance?
He does. We've gone over that on more than one occasion, and he understands that he's waiving his right to a speedy trial with a new either today or the next hearing date, and we waive that right, please.
Okay, sorry. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Yes. Thank you, Kurt.
All right, so the new date is 9/7/2021 at 10 a.m. Defendant waives speedy trial. The new commencement date is 9/7. Thank you.
The new hearing, 9/7 at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
You have arrived at your destination on the left.
Right, so we have a few people on here still. Did she call? Okay, we're calling Jennifer to see if she is coming.
And I believe Mr. Capone is here with Mr. Bruce Merrill. I think, or sorry, Rick Merrill.
You got it. It's either way.
Okay. So I think I'm missing a page on the paperwork on that.
I believe that that's correct. So I think that we need to reset this. I'll get the paperwork in order and get it to the court by the next day to be able to resolve. I realized the mistake this morning.
Okay. So on Mr. Capone's case, we have reached a settlement, but we just need to get the paperwork together. We could go 2 weeks or 4 weeks is fine.
I believe if the court has space, 2 weeks, I believe will be more than adequate time for me to resolve this.
Okay, so you want to continue to 2 weeks?
Yeah.
All right.
Please.
All right, we're setting this for 8/17 at 10 o'clock a.m. It's an excluded period for speedy trial purposes. Thank you.
And then, Your Honor, if you could go back to the 9:30, I can take care of a couple on there. Bailey Cassinger.
Okay.
That is a motion to dismiss.
And once again, for the record, Your Honor, Tony Gargill on behalf of my client, no objection.
And that's a infraction dismissal if you have an infraction form. Maybe. All right.
And then also Aurelio Silva Gonzalez on the 9:30.
Okay.
That is a motion to amend count 1 to a nuisance infraction at 200 and mitigate count 2 to 250.
And that is all agreed, Your Honor. Would answer committed. I'm in agreement with the mitigation to 250 on count 2.
All right. Thank you. All right, on the speeding, I amended it to nuisance. I made the fine committed. The fine is 200. On the no valid operator's license with ID, have made a fine committed, reduced the fine to $250.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that concludes
you.
my matters. Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Walsh.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Harbison still here?
No, he just left. He had to go to Superior Court, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I know he is the attorney on Mr. Thompson on the 9:30. It says pretrial. It's actually an SOC. We'd set this over for proof of community service. Mr. Harbison said he had not heard from his client, did not know what his situation was at this time. I think we had set it over a couple times. It sounds like they've lost contact.
Right.
It is
set a
the
warrant.
city would ask for warrant. It can be a small warrant.
$500. All right, what else do we need? We still have on that, what's that now? His mom dropped off some papers apparently
Who's this for?
on Thompson. Certificate of completion, minor in possession, 12 hours at the Orting Food Bank,
Okay.
2.5 hours of community service at Graham South Hill, and another 5.5 hours at the food bank.
Okay. In that case, if we could just FTA and reset in 30 days, I'll
Okay.
take a look at that, and
All right.
perhaps we can resolve it next year.
Note FTA and reset for 30 days. What I'll do is I'll put this on here so you'll be able to. I try to put it on where you can read it. I can say it's a guarantee.
And then have we had any chance or luck in contacting Ms. Affitz?
She's trying to do that right now. And we'll check on her in a second. Go ahead and text her and ask her if, how we're doing. And we still have those infractions at the top of the review calendar. It looks like we have Megan Anderson, but Mr. Sue is not here.
And Mr. Sue, had talked to him, and he had said he was requesting a continuance to get proof of insurance. And so I thought he had filed something, but the city does not object to sending that over.
All right, so I'll set this over. Unless I see another something from him, I'll set it over for 2 weeks.
Then Jasmine Hansen, the city had sent agreed motions to amend to nuisance infractions.
On each one? Oh, is there two?
On each one.
Yeah. And nuisance and
I think nuisance.
And how much on each?
I believe it was 126 on each.
How do we come up with the 126 number?
I don't know.
Any word on efforts? All right. Yes. And the 17th, August 17th. All right, so on Mr. Darren Bell, Ms. Appetz is available on the 17th. She needs you to call her. She's waiting to hear from you.
What's that, sir?
Ms. Appetz, your attorney, needs you to call her.
Is waiting to hear from.
Yeah, so we're going to set this over for. What's that?
I said, do you have her phone number?
Let me. She's going to bring it out to me. I'll get it to you. So we're going to set this for the 17th. I'll get you the phone number here in a moment.
The 17th of this month?
Yes.
I'm gonna probably be up there on the 17th on vacation to see my dad for his birthday.
Well, you can either come to court or you can still be on the app. Either way.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
And just for the court, just for the court and the defendant's help, so this is an SOC that's quite old. That looks like we never got proof of community service and a cost. So just putting that out there too.
So subtly put, if the community service is done and the costs are paid, this is what we need. So just so you understand that.
So I need the community service done and the cost paid?
Yes. And here's the attorney's number. You have a pen or a way to write this down? Okay, her name is Jennifer. Mr.
Hold on, sir. I lost you.
I'm still here. I can still hear you. You got to go wherever. There you are again.
Okay, so what were you saying? Her Jennifer.
Her name is Jennifer Appetz, Apitz. Her telephone number is 206-321-7072. And we just also sent it to you by way of chat. So if you look at your the chat screen, you should also be able to see it. Okay.
Okay, I got her phone number here.
Okay.
What I owe is you just sent that.
What's that now?
I said, how much do I owe you guys, sir?
I think the cost is $150, but I don't know what the number of community service hours are.
And the 10 hours.
There's 10 hours of community service. Those are what's holding this up.
Okay, and yeah, I'll just have to figure out where to go to community service down here in Alabama, right?
Nonprofit agency is all it requires. A nonprofit agency on their letterhead.
And then how would I get that letter to you saying I did it?
Fax machine, or I don't know if they have those anymore. Scanner, mail. Talk to your attorney. Talk to your attorney. She will know.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
That's 817. All right. And so, did you continue? Okay, I have it down here. Continue, Megan Anderson. We haven't heard from Carly Behrens.
And that was, I think, just on to
That was the gun,
give notice
firearm, yeah.
about
Okay.
the firearms. So I'm not sure what the court wants to do.
Well, let's reset it for 2 weeks. All right, and now we've got, I don't know what B. Stewart Sr. is. Who's B. Stewart Sr.?
That's probably my case. I don't know. I think Senior is the father of the defendant, I suspect.
Okay, Brian Henry Stewart.
Yeah, it's me.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning. And then I
Whoa.
have Heather May Gilroy.
That's a warrant recall.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
All
hear
right,
you.
good morning.
Good morning.
And it looks like we have Mr. Nair's here. Good morning, Mr. Nair.
I don't think he's on the calendar.
I don't have him on. Do you have him on?
I didn't see him.
Mr. Nair, if you are here just to watch, that's fine, but otherwise you're not on the calendar today.
Good morning, Your Honor. I believed my notes said that I was on the calendar today morning, but for a pre-trial hearing and for a trial date set for August 19th. That's my date. Those are my notes from the previous hearing. I might be mistaken.
That was the one that was set over, Mr. Nair.
I think we struck it.
I did not receive any mail, as I have never received any mail from the court over since the beginning of this matter. I have not received any mail or email from Ms. Kainova.
We'll just send the notice again. Okay. All right, Mr. Nair, there's no hearing today, okay? But you're welcome to stay.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I might know, what is the status of the trial on August 19th?
I don't have the date.
Let me take a look at what's the date? Yeah, the jury trial's still set for 8/19.
I will share with just this morning, Mr. Nair emailed me an attachment of a writ of mandamus, which he represented. He filed this morning with State Supreme Court, and he had asked me to ask the court to set. Of course, I haven't read it. I just got the attachment while I'm sitting here. Reset the trial date until after the writ of mandamus has been ruled on. As to what that writ contains, I can't speak to it. I haven't looked at it. I haven't had the opportunity. I mean, literally, it came to me while I'm sitting here.
Yeah, my last notes do say that actually we had set this as a court date. And he was supposed to file the mandamus.
Which he did this morning, apparently.
Right.
So at this point, I would ask to set the case for the 17th, if council can provide me a copy of the writ.
I'm going to send that to you right now.
All right, so Mr. Nair, apparently the writ of mandamus has been filed and Mr. Resnick has it. He's going to give Mr. Walls a copy of that writ of mandamus. So we're going to set this for our normal calendar on 10 o'clock, or is it 9:30? What preference?
I would say 9:30 only because this is all procedural stuff.
So we'll set it on the 9:30 calendar on 8/17. We'll send you notice. And Mr. Nair, you're saying you're not getting your mail. Can you tell me what your address is so we make sure we get it to the right one?
Yes, it is. The best address is 8646 230th Way Northeast, Redmond, Washington 98053. Your Honor, if I might.
8646 230th Way Northeast. What city?
Redmond, Redmond.
Okay, so Redmond, Washington. All
Correct,
right.
sir. Sir, according to my notes from the most recent hearing, it was that I had a pre-trial hearing today, and the trial was set for August 19th.
That is correct.
But I understand from speaking with you today that the pre-trial hearing is now on August 17th. Now, my plan was
actually, that's Mr. Nair. This is just so the attorneys have the opportunity to review your writ of mandamus and to see if there's a continuance warranted. That's the reason for that.
And I can just share.
My concern about that, Your Honor, is that I am planning to get private representation through Attorney Andrew Huff if, for any reason, the writ of mandamus does not resolve this matter. So if this matter is set for August 17th, and if by any chance the writ of mandamus is not resolved in my favor, then it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for Mr. Huff to come in with 2 days' notice before the trial.
Mr. Nair, they probably won't even look at your writ of mandamus before that date.
Then what? I don't want to have 20 jurors on the 19th if we are not going to trial. What do we want to do about that, Mr. Walls and Mr. Resnick?
Mr. Nair, would you be willing to do a speedy trial waiver?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we don't know what the turnaround time on them. Maybe counsel here has some insight as to how long the time frames are for those things at the Supreme Court level. I, for one, have never dealt with that issue, so I have no idea what their time frame is.
Well,
I think that Judge Curry's point is a good one, though. If we're not going to have a trial, why do we want to summon jurors in here just to send them home and burn potential jurors and potential jurors for other cases?
Yeah, I mean, the writ appears to be misfiled. I'm not sure if that is going to have any effect. He has been talking about having Mr. Huff appear for months, and that has not happened. So
Yes, for the obvious reason that I want the matter to be resolved by Supreme Court first.
Okay. The problem is the Supreme Court can't resolve this matter because there's no action has been taken yet. Let's. I believe we're going to continue with the trial date on August 19th, is what I'm understanding, Mr. Walls.
Mr. Nair, are you telling us affirmatively that you have actually filed this today with the Supreme Court, that it is on file? I know you did give me a case number under a separate email.
You could look it up on the Supreme Court roster. I'm sure there's a way by which you can verify that yourself without my input. This is a public record.
But it might not be reflected as such if you just filed it today, this morning. It may not be a matter of accessible public record for 48 or 72 hours. That's the issue. It may not be.
I can send you the confirmation from the Supreme Court clerk that it's been received. And again, at this point, that
would help.
Yeah. Okay. I can forward that to you.
That would greatly help if there was something that we know that it actually is on file.
Yeah, I would note that it was never served on the city or me. So it's unlikely that they'll accept it.
It was served on the court through the court administrator, Ms. Kainova, and also by USPS mail. So she should be receiving it either tomorrow or the day after.
And it does not appear that the Supreme Court is the proper venue for a writ.
All right. Well, we are going to proceed at this point. We will reset this so we are on better grounds we're having the trial on the 19th. We can do readiness again on the 17th just to make sure everything's in order, and we're going to have everyone show up for the trial on the 19th. That's where we're set. So I'll set a pre-trial at 10 o'clock a.m. or a readiness hearing, at 9:30 a.m. on the 17th, and we will proceed to the trial on the 19th.
But I'm afraid, the issue with that is that I will not have representation if that's the case through my attorney of choice.
Mr. Nair, you do have representation, and
no,
he is competent counsel,
Honor,
he is able counsel, and we have done this for months and months and months now. This trial this has to occur because this is enough time. So we're going to go through the trial.
I have never agreed to have Mr. Resnick as my counsel. This was something that the
Mr. Nair, I'm going to advise you to call Mr. Huff today and nail this down then. If that's the issue, I advise you not to be hedging that maybe you get a reprieve from the Supreme Court.
Well,
get Mr. Huff on board.
While this matter is being considered by the Supreme Court, I believe that the trial should be continued so that I can
The judge made his ruling, Mr. Nair.
Yeah. If the Supreme Court wanted me to not go through the trial, they could issue an order preventing that, but they have not. So the trial will be on 8/19, and we are going to have the jurors appear on that day. You're to appear on that day. Go through the trial on that day. Thank you. We will see you on the 17th. We're going to be here for the pre-trial at 9:30, and we're going to go forth the trial on the.
Your Honor, in that case, I am replacing my counsel with Mr. Huff right now.
Huff is not here.
Mr. Huff is not here. He hasn't put in a notice of appearance.
I'll have to hire him and appear him on August 17th for your pre-trial hearing. But again, I might have to bring a motion to shorten time for the Supreme Court to hear this because, this entire case is unconstitutional.
That's your argument, sir. All right, so this hearing is ended, and we are going to go ahead and, as I indicated, we're going to have the readiness pretrial on the 17th, and we will have the trial on the 19th, so everybody be prepared on that day. Thank you. All right, who's next?
We're still, we could probably do Mr. Douglas. That's just a quick continuance.
All right. When are we continuing to?
Paul Douglas, I'd ask for 30 days with an excluded period. And the basis for that is that there's been, as the court knows, some issues with the way the evaluation is written in the treatment plan. And I've not been able to get that ironed out as of today. And I'm asking, instead of setting this over keep inconveniencing the court and Mr. Douglas, I'm asking for a 1-month continuance with an excluded period.
No objection.
Mr. Douglas is aware of it. He's online somewhere.
Yes, he's here. He's on mute, but he's here.
I can't hear them now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can now.
All right. Yeah, the case is being continued to 9/7.
I'll call you later today, Paul.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. I can't hear.
Nothing's being said. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.
I maybe get sent to a breakout room with Mr. Stewart.
And who are the people in the back? Are you here for a hearing?
Sorry.
On what's name? All right.
Yeah, if that's okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's go ahead and take Ms. Reed. Come on up here.
Hey, did you see the chat from Hector?
Yeah, I private messaged him back. He hasn't responded.
All right, go ahead and have a seat, man. And this is the pretrial for Rebecca Reed. I guess the question is, are you closer to getting your license back right now?
Yeah, I just have a problem with, I was told, I got a ticket saying I didn't have a license, but I did in California, and I ended up just a victim of circumstances. And because when kind of confusing, when my license got dropped here or taken away, I was in California, and it happened like a week after I got my license in California. And I came back here after my dad passed away, and I'm driving and I get told that I have no license. And so I want it taken off my record because I want to go back to bus driving, and with 3 driving without a license, I won't be able to do that.
Right.
And so, Your Honor, just so it appears, so her Washington license at this point is showing surrendered with no holds. Okay. So she would just need to reapply to take the test again and reinstate.
I don't want this on my record. How do I get this on my record?
Well, the first part about it is getting your license back, and then there's no criminal offense on your record.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first thing you want to do. So what do you think will take to about 60 days or?
Probably it's hard to tell how, because you'll have to retake the test, and because of COVID, it's hard to schedule those.
Yes.
So I would say 60 days.
All right. So what I'll do is, if you're willing to waive your right to a speedy trial,
Oh, yes.
then I will set this over 60 days. And Mr. Wells, can I have you help her with that form? I don't have Mr. Rusnick here right now. So. So the warrant is quashed right now.
Thank you.
So we sent, where did we send Matt to? Oh, that's right, Stuart.
And I didn't do that.
All right, thank you. So, Ms. Reed, so just so you know, what this says is that you are continuing your case to 10/5, which is October 5th, and at 10 o'clock a.m., in order for us to do this, you're waiving your right to a speedy trial to that time period. Do you understand that? And you're willing to do that?
Yes.
All right, so I'm signing this order, and we'll see you on that date. We'll give you a copy of this, okay?
Okay.
Remember to quash warrant on this.
Your Honor, we could take Heather May Gilroy's on video. That's also a warrant issue.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is she still there? There she is. Heather, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Your Honor, this is an old warrant. It's for failure to transfer title. No objection to quashing the warrant and setting it over. So, Ms. Gilroy, just for your information, so I would be looking for proof that you either licensed that vehicle or you sold it. So if you could send in any documentation to that effect, then this will get resolved. I would note you do have a couple other issues you need to deal with in Thurston County and Puyallup Municipal.
I do.
Okay.
If I don't have any proof that I sold it, it was 6 years ago. So what would I do if I don't have any proof?
I'm not sure. I believe the Department of Life provide a record, but I'm not sure. But if you can bring or send in whatever evidence you have of what happened to the vehicle, that would be helpful.
I don't know what that would be, but I will try.
So you said set over what day, Mr. Wells?
Let's go 30 days.
Okay, so we're going to set this for September 7th, 10 o'clock. And I'm going to put on here, need to address your warrants in other courts. We're recalling the warrant here, or we're quashing the warrant here, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so get that information and maybe you can get us out of your hair, all right? So we're setting it for 9/7/2021 at 10 o'clock a.m. Has your address changed?
No.
All right, so we'll send it to that address. Great. Have a good day.
Thank you.
That's also a warrant quash, but it's all in my notes here. And then we have the only two I see are Caitlin Gates and Nicholas Hector. And Caitlin Gates does not look represented.
That's correct. Give me just a chance. Your Honor, this is a driving suspended third degree. She does have her license back. Hold on, just. Oh. Yeah, this was a somewhat unusual case, and I know that she had indicated that she wanted to contest the issue. I do see she's reinstated. Ms. Gates, if you want to resolve this at this point, the city would amend this to just not having a license on your person, a traffic infraction. I realize that this is kind of a strange fact pattern, but that
we can just go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And so that would mean a fine of $139, and upon payment, your case is closed. Do you want to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we will do that. You don't have to pay today. You can make arrangements to pay, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And has your address changed?
No, sir.
All right, so we'll send a notice to that address.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Your criminal case is hereby amended to the infraction of no driver's license on person, RCW 462017. Fine is $139. Upon payment, the case is closed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And now we have just the one that and we have Jackie Dover.
Not sure who that is.
Your Honor, I'm here for the Brian Stewart case. I'm the alleged victim. I'm his mother.
Okay. All right, and Mr. Resnick is talking to him right now. And then he has to talk to Nicholas Hector, excuse me. Those appear to be the two.
It's possible. I'm not sure if I should wait for them to come back or.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so let me go through anything else here. Thomas Hart is just an FTA. We're reissuing the warrant on O'Neill. Got that one already. Jarrett Tommel, we have not heard from, and that's a bail bond was posted, so FTA. We're continuing the Megan Anderson for 2 weeks. Set Carly Behrens for 2 weeks. No information on Markle Hodge or her attorney?
No, that one, it was set for review for proof of ADS and EVAL. We did get those, so he's asking to strike that.
Okay, strike hearing. Kelly Meyer, no hearing, nothing from them. Okay, FTA. Thomas O'Connor.
We did that one.
Yes, that was 2 pages. All right. Luke Powell, we already did all those. We did Jonathan Thompson, and then on the 10 o'clock, Andrew Bradshaw, FTA. John Merwood, Danny Vinzant, Brian Westfall, and Paul Williamson. We have a 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock motion.
That's with the bench trial that's at 2 o'clock. And so I think that, I'm not sure if we had intended to set those, or just handle it at 2 o'clock.
All right, we'll take a recess. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Can somebody send me over to Mr. Hector, please? Stewart's real quick. Maybe real court. Anyhow, yeah, we can do Stewart. It's just going to be a 2-week continuance.
So that is to the
Pondering his options.
17th?
Yeah.
And you say there's somebody here to address?
Mr. Wells said the AV wants to be heard.
That's correct. The victim is here. She does want to be heard.
Without excluded period, Mr. Rusnick?
She's on.
I have no objection. Yeah.
She's on video.
Okay.
So I put this in excluded period for speedy trial purposes.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
That is. Ms. Dover, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So what would you like to let us know today?
Well, today I would like to rescind the no contact order if possible.
Okay.
This way I can more directly help my son navigate the mental health system and get him back into a group home as soon as possible.
Walls?
Your Honor, so this is somewhat of a difficult case. Defendant does have a prior assault, not against her, not domestic violence, that he did treat, that was also alcohol related. He did treatment successfully and it was dismissed. However, this incident is, that was dismissed last year. This incident was also alcohol related. It was in fact a fight over him getting more alcohol. So I do have some concerns with her safety, especially if he is not sober. I'm not sure of his current situation with sobriety. I believe it is a requirement of his conditions of release that he maintain his sobriety. I am aware that he does have some mental health issues that do need to be addressed as well. Not sure. I thought that was a condition. I don't actually see it as a condition. If the court does recall the no contact order, I would ask that no consumption of alcohol or drugs be a condition.
Mr. Stewart? Are you there?
I see the
Hello.
father.
Yes. I'm here, yes.
All right.
There it is.
So Ms. Dover has indicated she wants to recall the no contact order. I'm considering doing that, but that would require two things from me. Number one, I would make it a no hostile contact order. It means you can't have any hostile contact. And number two, you would not be allowed to have any alcohol or drugs during the pendency of this action. Would that be something that you are okay with?
I could well agree to that, yes.
So I'm going to recall the no contact order. I'm going to issue an order that you can have no hostile contact.
Okay.
With Jackie Dover. And no drugs or alcohol during this action. Do you understand those conditions?
I do.
All right. So I'm recalling the no contact order. And good luck, and I hope, Ms. Dover, if there is an issue, though, I still need you to call the police because I don't want you to be unsafe because of this.
Thank
So
you, Your Honor.
Yeah, we're back
Quick
here in 2 weeks.
question for clarification. The no alcohol or drugs during, is that just while we're in contact together, or is that?
Nope. It's a condition of no alcohol or drugs.
Period, like whether we're together or not. Okay,
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so that matter is continued And now we have Nicholas Hector.
Nicholas Hector, and that's 11, 12, and 13 on the 10 a.m. calendar. Your Honor, on the two pretrial matters, this will be an alpha plea, which I did send to the court, but I did not send up police reports yet. I think Mr. Walton may have accommodated it. But anyway, tell me when I can do the colloquy.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, let's see. That's on the. You said there's another.
It's on 11 and 12, or excuse me, 11, 12, and 13. Two are pretrial. One is listed as pretrial, but it's actually an SOC. But technically a pretrial, but an actual SOC.
What do you remember? Which one's the SOC?
The first one, 11.
That's 11. Okay.
The assault. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Hector will be entering guilty pleas by way of an alpha plea on the other two cause numbers. And just
got to print those off.
By way of background information, that incorporates globally a recommendation of revocation. Mr. Hector understands that by pleading guilty, he's waiving a number of important constitutional rights: the right to go to trial, the right to a jury trial, the right to have witnesses testify on his behalf, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses and testify against them, the right to remain silent at trial, not offer testimony against himself, not speak at all if he chooses not to, and his right to appeal the finding of guilt after a trial. He's making those waivers knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. As with regard to the two cause numbers that he's entering pleas on, he understands that he is looking at two gross misdemeanors for an aggregate potential liability of 2 times 364 days in jail, 2 times a $5,000 fine. He is also aware on those new matters there will be a mandatory no firearms order. He is also aware, although he was made aware by prior private counsel on the SOC, that should the SOC be revoked, and we did review this today, on the assault, that there was, in addition to yet a third no firearms order, there'd be a DNA sample, and that's not discretionary on the court. Lastly, Your Honor, he is a U.S. citizen nonetheless. He's had his Padilla warnings, and he's prepared to go forward with his Alfred plea.
Thank you.
I just add, this is a DNA requirement and a travel restriction.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine. Yeah.
And so you just sent that.
And also there's $15 mandatory penalty.
Not the DNA.
It
Not the
is,
DVPA. I mean, yeah.
on the because of the SOCs on the DV assault, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably have to either have your Kim print that out so I can.
That was sent over as a word. You could choose those.
Yeah, it's the Erie version.
It's not a PDF.
Right. That's what we do.
You said you have sent that.
No, I'm working on it.
So to clarify, the SOC is being revoked.
That's correct. Based on the steps we're taking.
So, Mr. Hector, as soon as this gets printed out, we'll go through it with you, okay? All right.
He's got a copy of it,
All
but
right.
not with that minor change that Mr. Wells added. I sent him the.
I still can't hear you.
Well, we're not saying anything right yet.
Okay. Can't hear you. Are you talking to me?
Nobody's talking yet.
Mr. Edgar.
Oh,
Okay, they've been sent, huh?
Just got sent.
just got an email from Mr. Huff saying he's not heard from Mr. Nair on this case.
He has not heard from Mr. Nair?
Yes.
Are we on mute?
I think
Does he know who you're even talking about?
I think so, because I think I saw his name on.
Back on Mr. Hector, I do have the plea. Can you hear me all right, Mr. Hector?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so your attorney went over the statement of defendant on plea of guilty. Did you understand what he was telling us?
Yes.
Okay, and you have that form with you, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, on number 5, there's some very important constitutional rights. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
Nope.
On number 6, there's a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose up to the maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
Correct.
Has anyone made any promise or threats to make you sign this form?
No.
And you're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And it says under number 11, it says, I maintain my innocence. I am entering my Alford plea to avail myself of a favorable sentence recommendation from the prosecutor. I acknowledge there is a substantial likelihood of a conviction if my case went to trial. My Alford plea is a legal equivalent of a guilty plea. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes.
All right. I'll make a finding that the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
Oh, your mouth is moving. So.
First of all, on the case where there's the stipulated order of continuance, and I'm trying to figure out which one that is here.
The first cause number, the assault, number 11 on the calendar.
And so under cause number 190700188, I am revoking the stipulated order of continuance. And I will make a finding on that case of guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Under 191280119. We'll find that on or about 5/8/2019, Orting, Washington, the defendant Nicholas Hector committed the crime in violation of a no contact order of domestic violence. Make that finding guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And under 193460063. I'll make a finding that on or about 12/9/2019, Orting, Washington, the defendant, Nicholas Hector, committed the crime of violation of protection order, domestic violence. Make that finding guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Is there anything you'd like to tell me, sir, before I proceed to sentencing?
No.
All right. Thank you.